angry Browns fan on special assignment for Dogs on the Run, back in the Muni lot, and if there's one thing that I hate, are Steelers fans. Let's go find them. What do you guys think about Steelers fans?
They suck!
There he goes. We're going to cross the street and see what's going on over there.
We looked for a tailgate vehicle. Somebody was selling it, and I had to have it.
Was there a dead body in it?
Yes, there was.
That dude just fell out his ass. How many ladies do you pick up in this thing?
None. None ever.
I think I couple skated with Jim's sister.
All right, guys, welcome to Ep.4 of the It's Better With Hugh Browns Fancast. I got Big Al, well, we didn't lose, and Jim Klingenberg here tonight, and I'm about to put them on public mic so they can continue the great conversation that they've already started. What's up, guys?
What's going on, guys?
Oh, what a great day and a great week we've had here.
We tied.
Where to
You
begin?
didn't lose.
We tied.
I hate that take, by the way, that we didn't lose.
And for those of you guys that are watching
Bad
live,
take.
you can
Bad
see down below the
No,
number
it's
to
true.
call in.
It's factual.
Thank
Want
you.
anyone to call in?
We want everyone to call in. Make sure you post that number, John.
So go to zoom.us and post that number that you guys see down in your lower third, 101-100-987. That'll get you in. Or you can call in.
Sprained my ankle.
And you can come and join us live, give us your predictions, takes, and other random crap from the game concerning our favorite team, the Browns. You can also chat live on Facebook, and I will read those in and bring those into the conversation. Like this one from Richard that says, when are they going to be coached when you see the back of the opposing team on a punt or kickoff or an interception? Don't block them in the back. Duh. 2, when your team gets a turnover and you are near the red zone, don't run the ball up the middle to shift the momentum to the opposing team. Strike for the end zone. And 3, when you're at or around the 50-yard line with seconds left in the half and you're losing to a rival, throw a pass to the end zone. You might get a defensive penalty or a touchdown. Goodbye. This show's namesake, Hugh. And that's from Richard.
We need to talk about the name of the show, but we can do that later.
We're not doing it until he gets fired.
Well,
It's better with Todd. It's better with Greg. Who's the offensive line coordinator?
Oh, God. What's that guy's name? He weighs like 500 pounds.
It's better with him.
Here's the thing.
Bob Wiley.
Everybody
better
wants
with
to fire
Bob
Buchanan.
Wiley.
Who's going to coach the Browns? Who do you think gets it any better?
Oh, man. I think John
I'm
Spalding
listening.
would do a better job.
I'm listening.
Or Richard T. Phillips, interim head coach.
You guys, we haven't won a game in 2 years. Years.
We're
But we haven't lost
rebuilding.
a
Okay?
game. We haven't lost
Rebuilding.
a game this season.
All these jokers that think it's so funny that, hey, we ended the losing streak by not winning. Yeah, real funny.
Who was that? Was that Santa Claus that said that?
Oh, shit.
Well, was that not the best they played? That's the best they
All right.
played in 3 years.
That last 7 minutes of the fourth quarter was the best they played in 3 years. The first part of the game sucked.
Oh, Brownie TL. What's going on? Oh, that's you.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately, that's me.
I got excited about something.
All right,
Oh, we
guys.
have an,
Well, this
oh,
is
the agenda.
it's what we didn't lose his favorite part of the show. Where
What do we have on the agenda
talk
today,
about the
John?
agenda. So we got some Browns quotes. We got our intro and rundown, which we're doing right now. Got some Browns quotes, the Browns Steelers recap. What the hell are we doing here? Meaning just other news related to the team. And we're going to go and review our You've Heard It Here First predictions. You guys ready?
Yep.
I've
right,
never
here we
been
go.
more ready.
We're ready.
Here we go.
Jump right in with both feet, John.
Are you ready?
5 turnovers for a tie. A tie?
That
Who
was
said it?
everybody. Everybody said that.
John, you have to correct that.
Why?
It was 6, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, but this
Oh,
is
actually, the
but
Browns
that's the actual quote.
We forced 6. We forced 6 turnovers.
Yes, but the quote is factual. This is the guy that said it didn't.
Oh,
He
okay,
got
okay.
it wrong.
So this is a guy's quote. All right, can't read it all.
Sounds like Herm Edwards, but it's not, obviously.
I
Any
have no clue. I'm gonna say
Is it a Browns player or a
It is
Browns?
Browns player.
I'm going to go with Jabril Peppers.
Charlie Hewlett. Okay.
The long snapper.
I was gonna say
Oh.
Poprion, but he doesn't play for us anymore.
We're doomed.
Who was it, John? Oh,
A fellow Sun Devil.
He's not a happy camper.
Aditi Kinkabwala picked up that quote, and they did correct him. How about this one? He can be a lot better than me.
Drew
Well,
Brees said
but
that
everybody
about
can say that. Oh, be a lot better than me.
Yeah.
Drew Brees said it today. Once someone gets it right, I just show it.
I
Good
just
job,
said
Jim.
it.
I said once someone gets it right.
Okay, all right.
Drew Brees.
wow! Drew Brees was drunk today, huh?
They had a big write up on it. He was talking about all of his skill sets, and that's what he said.
All right.
Okay.
It gave me respect for the guys who don't do anything but play special teams. I had no idea how hard it was.
Somebody that doesn't play it too often.
Yeah, I was gonna say who'd they throw out there and make him run, make him the gunner.
Exactly.
Nick Chubb.
Oh, look at that.
It's a good call.
Nick
Yeah, there you
Chubb.
go.
Oh,
Nice.
Big Al.
Back Nick Chubb, Big Al.
Big Al is good at these quotes.
I look forward to this quotes being a sponsored section of the show, and you guys
Big
will
Al's
actually
1 for 7.
we'll keep tallies. All right. That's just how the nature or the politics of the game goes. It's always going to fall on the head coach or the QB, but we all know that's not the case. Everybody plays a part.
Hugh Jackson.
Don Dorsey.
Oh, that's a tough one. I'd say probably Hugh, but
Oh, see? You guys are not right.
Wow.
Look at that.
Josh Gordon.
A little bit of a team player we got there. An old Joshy.
Is that?
Wow. Sober and humble.
Yeah, we were labeling him as a team player now, huh? All right.
First game.
Josh. Are we going to
game, full season?
Speaking of Josh, are we going to get into the little riff between you and Todd Haley?
I think, yeah, we might as well. All right, one more. This is before the game.
Oh, come on. It's got to be Miles.
Got to be Myles Garrett, yeah.
There you go. Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Before the game.
Browns coach defensive end.
Browns coach defensive.
Not an English major for sure.
Whoops.
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 All right. Let's move on.
Yeah, forget that. Forget that you saw that, everybody. But,
like I said, well-oiled machine.
Well, let's take a look at well, Jim Klingenberg, you got the stats with you, right? So do we even need to bring up this?
I do. I do have the stats. Yes.
I got them right in front of me too. What do you want to know? I'm sure we could tag team the stats.
Well, let's go through. Let's just do a recap of the game.
Okay, here's my recap.
I'm the Angry Browns
First
fan.
quarter boring. Second quarter boring. Third quarter boring. Fourth quarter, holy shit, they're doing something. Recap of the game ends in a tie. And next slide.
You
didn't.
Where are you guys?
You
You
didn't
guys
have
are
fun.
All right.
That was your recap of the game. You don't want to talk about what a great quarterback run that was from the 20-yard line by Tyrod.
You know what?
Look, we
They
can't
came
recap
out
the
at,
game in 2 or 3 minutes. There's way too much happened.
They came out right after halftime, obviously made some adjustments, ran the ball right down the field and scored, and then
You guys left.
And then they did nothing. And with what, 5 or 6 minutes, 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter, we still had 29 yards passing total.
It was brutal.
The offense was completely non-existent. It was inept. It was awful. It was every adjective you want to use. It was just garbage.
If you're a +5 turnover ratio against a team, you should win by 30. You'd think.
Right.
Well,
And I heard some ridiculous stat on the radio that I've seen online. People have repeated it a bunch of times. It is literally impossible to lose a game in which you win the turnover battle by 5. It's almost impossible, and the Browns have done it almost regularly in the last.
Okay, well, listen.
Well,
It's
they didn't
almost
have hardly any
impossible.
takeaways. I mean, to have that many takeaways is good. They didn't have any takeaways last year, but yes, you're right. They needed that many takeaways just to tie.
They had 18 all of last season, I believe. Last season, all combined was 18.
Right. They didn't take the ball away hardly at all last year.
They got 6 on Sunday.
And you know what, John? You make a good point when you phrase it like that. When you say they needed 5 takeaways just to tie, what does that say about the team? What does that say about Hugh? What does it say about the offense?
Well, it was raining.
How much improvement did you make?
It was raining.
People saying,
hard.
"Hey, we improved." Well, not really. No, you didn't.
It was
raining.
raining.
Really improved.
Wait, you don't think they improved from last year? Are we saying that first game of the season?
I will never ask you to clean.
Tyrod Taylor is a slightly better quarterback than Deshaun Kaiser at this point.
Okay.
Probably much better, but
stop.
We got a little bit better quarterback play, and we got 5 turnovers, +5 in the turnover differential, and we only tied. So how much better did you get, really?
Well, like what is upsetting you, we did not lose.
He is not buying that. Al, what do you think?
I mean, factual. We did not lose. I would say Tyrod was a bit sloppy, but
very.
I mean, to say he's a little bit better than Deshaun Kaiser is absurd, James.
I'll tell you what.
Right.
He's much better, obviously, but he didn't play like it, Sunday.
If they didn't practice with balls soaked in 5-gallon buckets full of water all week, they're fools, because that forecast was available for everyone to see for 2 weeks. They should have thrown nothing but drenched, soaked 500-pound footballs all week at practice, because that's what they were going to have on Sunday, and I bet you they didn't. And he underthrew everybody. He underthrew everybody.
Belichick would have done that. If he would have known the forecast, he would have made Tom Brady throw in the rain all week. And I know that's a terrible argument to make, and I'm not going to say that.
Oh, yeah, we can't compare Hugh to Belichick because they're in different realms of the spectrum there. It's not even close.
I think we can all agree that none of us are happy that Hugh Jackson is still the quarterback of the team.
If he's the quarterback of the team,
I mean the coach.
Figuratively. Spalding's still pulling for Hugh every single day.
I'm not.
Listen, your
ass. We are stuck with him. They made the choice that we are stuck with him. Tyrod is Tyrod. That's what they've said about him, right? He doesn't make those downfield, intermediate, and long throws, and then we saw what happened. When he does, the receivers have to make phenomenal catches or come back and get it.
He holds onto the ball a little too long, too.
He does. They said that he had Browns actually had in pass protection were in the top 10 according to Pro Football Focus. It had at least 3 seconds.
Right. They said he was at 2.99 seconds, which was 7th. He had the seventh most time in the pocket as far as take
So
what you want.
we all know the writing is on the wall for our buddy Taylor. It's just a matter of time.
So
yeah, for sure.
So is the next question going to be how short is his leash? Because Hugh will tell you from the word go, he's the QB and he's the starter.
It's as simple as that. If they lose to the Saints and then they lose again to who is it in week 3? The Jets.
Hey,
if they lose to the Jets, he's definitely done.
Thursday night game.
Yeah,
home.
then he's done. Then that'll give him 10 days to get Baker ready for the next game. Guaranteed, Baker game 4.
Mary Kay tried to ask him. She tried to ask him in the post-game press conference how short is his leash, and he just responded with leash. He's our QB.
Can't stand that question.
He wouldn't even say, hey, look, he wouldn't even give the canned bullshit answer. It was just, oh, he's our QB. He's our QB. So he's going to live and die with that guy.
Which I don't understand.
Al,
let's get down to brass tacks here, guys. Okay, the bottom line is he's going to get hurt at some point. I mean,
if history has shown us anything, yes, he'll be hurt sooner than later.
Right. So I mean,
that would probably be the best scenario for all parties.
He'll come down with the flu or a migraine or some bullshit.
Does the narrative change if we beat the Saints?
It depends. Well, no. What do you mean? If we beat the Saints and we have 5 turnovers against the Saints again, and we end up losing?
I don't think that. I think it's all wins and losses.
So you're saying your boy Tyrod goes out there and lights it up for 320 and throws three touchdowns, no interceptions, and runs for 50.
Fitzpatrick.
Oh, I mean, okay.
So, he's not going to get benched if they win.
What?
If they win a game, there's no way he's going to get benched. I mean,
exactly.
So,
are we saying that they're going to get slaughtered? Well, we'll get the prediction.
Well, they're not going to win. They're not going to beat the Saints.
Who looked good on offense? How about that?
If you're 0-2-1 and going into week 4, you're going to see Baker. That's my prediction.
Okay.
Who looked good on offense?
Yeah.
Landry, the only person I can come up with. I mean, he only caught half of his targets.
Well, 15 targets and only 7 catches.
But I mean, for 106 yards,
not too bad. But
no, he has a nice 15-yard average.
Yeah.
Higgins was non-existent for the most
he had
part.
that one big catch.
One catch, and that was it. I mean, I don't know how many of these were drops and how many of them were underthrown, overthrown, but there was a lot of bad passes that day.
He was Duke Johnson more.
Josh Gordon was in there for 60-something.
I mean, where was Duke Johnson?
Oh, my
Duke
God.
Duke Johnson carried the ball 5 times for 17 yards, and he caught 1 for 8.
Right, you got to get that guy in the face.
I mean, he was targeted 6 times, but he only pulled in 1 of them.
Oh.
So, I mean, if you look at the list, there was 39 attempts. 39 attempts and 15 catches. How many of those were misses and how many were drops and how many of it was the conditions? And, and Njoku had that one on the sidelines he could have caught for the first down, and he just didn't catch it.
He dropped 2.
Yeah, the tight ends were terrible.
Yeah. Yep. Should have left Seth the valve out.
Good juiced.
Devon.
Good juice.
Here's the thing. Not
the guys that are here.
Duke Johnson, the playmaker. You got to get Duke Johnson the ball. I mean, not getting him the ball would be like not sending Big Al out for a close. It's absurd.
Coffee is for closers. Closers.
Big Al the closer.
I just didn't see a strategy.
Like Velvet Hammer.
Big Al has to change his name now to the closer.
I know.
They call me the Velvet Hammer. They call me the Velvet Hammer.
Where?
Throughout parts. In Canada.
Back in his Arizona days.
I just didn't see anything to sink my teeth into that offense. It was rather non-existent.
It sucks.
What do you guys think about what do you guys think about Harrison, our left tackle? Had a rough.
You mean? You know what? Okay.
And then kind of settled down.
I'll go. If somebody else go, and then I'll
go ahead, Jim. You're all fired up. Don't be shy.
Hey, and for those of you who are watching, check out that number below and come and argue with us live.
Well, under the circumstances, Harrison, aside from the false starts, which were obviously bad, but I mean, you can't blame the kid. It's his first start, coming from a small school. I didn't think he was that bad. It was the right tackle, the Hubbard guy, that was really, really bad. That's where T.J. Watt was coming from most of the time, I think. That guy got 4 sacks, and I think at least 3 of them were against Hubbard.
3 of them were. I believe that's accurate.
Right. So Harrison was okay. Wasn't great, but Hubbard was awful. Awful.
Took him from the Steelers, plopped him on the right tackle position.
Right. I wonder why they got rid of him.
He was a part-time player for them. We gave him full-time money.
Right. So that's
all
you need to know.
When you haven't won a game in 3 years, that's what you got to do. I mean,
yeah, got to bulk up.
Yeah, we don't even want to. Do we even want to talk about the 11 penalties?
Our tackles are under 300 pounds.
The penalties was one of my storylines. It was like offense, special teams, and penalties. Oh my!
11 penalties.
Again, a huge team.
And Pittsburgh did everything they did everything they could do to help us win that game because they had 12.
Right. Now I can hear your voice being lost.
For 30 more yards in penalties. They had 12 for 116 and we had 11 for 87. So it was a sloppy game all the way around as far as discipline goes. Some of those penalties were ridiculous. I'm not even going to get into the roughing versus the non-roughing on Roethlisberger and Myles Garrett when Tyrod Taylor got his ass handed to him and they didn't throw a flag on that. I mean, those are judgment calls by the officials.
You were yelling in the stands.
Because it has to go both ways.
Right.
I can't sit there and yell enough at the officials John will say until he's blue in the face, until we start winning, we're not going to get these calls. But when does the league step in and penalize officials who aren't making calls?
Right.
Well, I'm with you, right? I just say, I just scream. I'm like, they don't know we're here yet.
Well, they come back on Monday and apologize for something that they obviously got wrong. It doesn't do you any good.
Stuff like that, though, I mean, that stuff is going to happen, like you guys said, and until you start winning, you're probably not going to get those calls. But the calls you can't have are the pre-snap penalties, like false starts and jumping off sides. You can't have those.
Well, that comes down to
always have those.
Pure discipline and coaching.
That's the stuff you can control. You can't control Myles Garrett getting screwed on his hits to the quarterback or whatever. You can control the pre-snap stuff.
Right.
There's no excuse.
Yeah, our stats, I know you got them on paper right there, Jimmy, but there isn't much more to really look at or even talk about. They're pretty abysmal. 150 total, 150 total passing yards.
You guys are acting like we lost the game. We didn't lose.
We didn't win, Al. We didn't win.
We tied. We tied the Steelers, supposed to be leaders in the division.
Yeah, okay.
It's good. It's good. We got 6 turnovers.
What's going to be our excuse this week when we go into a dome and they throttle us 45-3? I'm not jumping ahead to my prediction. I'm just saying. When the weather isn't a factor and we don't get 6 turnovers, are we gonna see the real Cleveland Browns show up?
All right, so is this
so negative?
What are we doing here?
So negative.
I believe we've recapped the game, so now we have to look ahead at some storylines and ask yourself, what the hell are we doing here?
By the way,
yes.
By the way, your boy Tyrod was on his ass 7 times.
Poor
7
guy.
sacks. 7 sacks.
I'll tell you, though, that run that he had.
You're going to keep going back to that, aren't you?
Run, looked
that one
good.
shining moment.
Hey, listen, are you saying that you, what? I mean, I don't know what the change would be other than to bring in, the youngster.
Baker.
Way too early for that, guys.
Baker.
Okay. So
it was one game. One game.
Not going down that road yet.
Is Agba frail?
Agba's out.
He's out he's out. He's listed as out.
2 weeks.
He's listed as out. They said it wasn't the dreaded high ankle sprain. So that's good. But he is out.
What are they calling it?
Ankle, but not that.
A low ankle sprain.
Right,
It's ridiculous. I don't know what that is.
It's just not the ankle sprain that takes him out of like 6 weeks. Burgess and Gaines are back. Burgess had a concussion. Gaines
He's
had a
gone.
groin.
He's gone for 2 weeks at
I
least.
like that.
Do we care
Ankle,
that Burgess
but
and Gaines
not
are back?
that.
Not really. How much?
Yeah,
Burgess. I mean, I guess we could use Burgess a little bit, but
Well, Connor gashed us. Maybe Burgess being in there will help a little bit. We didn't lose was talking about some effort issues that he might have seen on Jamie Collins' behalf.
You mean his lack of effort?
Loafing around.
Jamie Collins has been an absolute.
I'm the angry Browns fan.
I don't know what he was trying to accomplish this past Sunday. It was like he was trying to avoid contact, and he did not want to be there. And I tried to not watch him every defensive snap he was on the field, but I must have said to John, watch him. Watch this. And I think, what was it, maybe right before halftime, you're like, what is he doing?
Yeah. He had this play where he ran, and it looked like he was actually hiding behind, and then he took this slow spin move, and the guy was already past him. And it's like, why aren't you tracking the ball?
You know what's even worse? There was at least 3 times I saw number 51 in the backfield where he could have tackled that Connor guy, and he just completely whiffed. Just missed him. Didn't even come close.
He's got J.R. Smith disease. He signed a big contract. Now he doesn't care.
Wow.
I don't know.
That's why Belichick got rid of his ass. Because he's probably a loafer.
Something's wrong with that guy.
What's up, Glenn? Glenn just tuned in. Anyone have any special messages for him?
Oh, not Glenn that loves to rip on Jimmy.
Oh, this chat's about to get lit.
What? Who's here?
Glenn.
Oh, he's chatting?
You want a quick rundown of the injuries there, John?
Yeah, let's do it.
We got, as of today, Kirksey is limited on with a shoulder injury, questionable for this week. Ogba did not practice at all. He's doubtful. Gaines, he has a knee. He's questionable. Jones, and these guys are already on IR, so they don't matter. So that's really, the extent of the Browns injury list right now.
Well, Gaines and Burgess practiced today.
Okay.
They were full.
It just said they were just they have them on the web, the injury website from CBS Sports. They have them listed as a limited participant today.
Gotcha.
Questionable, hey,
Glenn.
that doesn't really mean anything.
Glenn said he just got home from work. Hopefully he can Zoom with us next week. And you can also Zoom from your smartphone.
Can.
I believe Al's doing it right now, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Or you can call in if you don't want your ugly mug on the video screen.
Al, what bar are you going to go to get your free Bud Light when we win? Do you have one lined
up? Well, it depends on where I'm at. If I'm in lovely Shelby, Ohio, I'll probably go to Legend. I'll probably go to 1 to 2 bars because there's only 2, Legend or Weber's.
Nice.
Do they have
both of which I will be the best looking man there?
Hey, that's good.
Hey,
I'd go
he's
there
the closer.
There you go. He is the closer.
Those ladies don't stand a chance.
No.
And neither do the fellas.
None.
All right, so when are we going to see Baker? Too early to speculate?
When's the bye week?
Sooner the better.
I think our bye is week 11.
It's like mid-October.
So, I think our bye is either 10 or 11. I'm not 100%
Before that.
I think we see I'm going to jump straight ahead to you heard it here first and say we see Baker as the starting QB for the Thursday nighter against the Jets.
No.
That's just me thinking.
Nice.
Whoa.
I like it.
Just me thinking.
Wow.
Ballsy. Very ballsy.
At home?
Predictions
oh,
here on the
man.
All right.
Now, am I saying that that's what should happen? I'm not going to elaborate on that just yet. It's just my feeling. Every now and then you get a feeling.
Like it.
I think he'll show up in game 5 or 6.
Show up in game 5 or 6?
What's the schedule look like? It goes Saints, Jets, then who?
Hold on. I can answer that.
We should know this, and I have a schedule not more than 3 feet away from me, and I can't reach it.
No way.
All right, we got
number 3, not a chance. Glenn
Jets. We got Raiders.
When's that game?
Now that's a crappy game. Now see, that's why I said Baker in week 4, because that would give us 10 days to get them ready for the crappy Raiders.
I go week 4 against the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm going to say week 4 against the Raiders also.
On the road? You want to? In the black hole, you're just going to throw the kid out there, huh?
Hey, see what he's got, man.
Boy, I'll tell. I mean,
Glenn says Raiders. He says Jets is too early.
After Raiders, which is an away game, you got Ravens at home, Chargers at home, Bucks away, Steelers away, Chiefs home, Falcons home, and then the bye week.
How are we going to win any games going against all these good teams?
We're not.
It's a tough schedule. It really is.
Oh, and Glenn did not say it's too early. He said it's a short week. That's why they wouldn't bring him in on the Jets game. So far it's consensus Raiders.
Well, I'm saying I would go opposite of the Jets, the short week. I would go long week and bring them in after the Jets game, give them 10 days to prepare.
I don't know why he didn't start the beginning of the season.
Because we have Tyrod.
I don't know what we're waiting for at this point.
You know?
The only way we're going to start this kid is if Tyrod gets injured to the point where he can't be on the field. So if he's ready to go then, he's not ready to go now.
Right.
First snap of next week, Tyrod goes down with a ankle injury. Baker Mayfield's not ready. Are we going to frickin'
Drew Stanton?
Drew Stanton?
No, not happening.
No.
So
if he's ready,
if he's waiting, the dumb is that he didn't really get any first team snaps in the preseason, which is kind of stupid. But
it's like they got a new toy and they're afraid to take it out of the box because they think it's going to lose its value and they won't be able to sell it at Comic-Con next year or some shit.
Yeah, it's they don't want to do the whole Deshaun Kaiser thing all over again because they keep hearing how the Browns ruin young quarterbacks and they don't want to rush them. All that bullshit. That's why they're waiting.
Yeah, well, by that logic, they could have picked better players at their first couple picks and got a quarterback down.
When you listen to the fans, you end up sitting with them. That's what they say.
Well, good.
Wow, that is deep.
Oh,
that is deep.
Does that mean that
Touche, Jimmy K? Touche, Jimmy K.
I can't wait to see Glenn jump all over that comment.
I'm just sitting here looking at my phone, waiting for the chat. All right, so let's transition to the Saints. Who can do the scouting report? I mean, they got walloped by the backup from Tampa Bay, the Harvard graduate Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, wow, that was surprising.
Well, their defense sucks.
The Saints have to put up 450 yards every week. Their defense is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Does that bode well for Tyrod and the gang?
Well, not as much as they launched the ball all over the place.
Oh, that Tampa Bay did?
No, the Saints. And I'm afraid to see what Kamara's going to do to this defense if they're going to open up the middle of the field like they like to do every freaking game.
They made Connor.
Tomorrow's going to have 250 total yards easily.
Who has him on their fantasy team? Anyone here?
I hate fantasy football.
Which guy?
Alvin Kamara.
You can lose.
Oh, Kamara's he's fine, but he's not a 30 carry game back though.
What we're saying is the Browns' situational defense, or whatever you want to call it, is either throw the linebackers at the line of scrimmage or drop them back so there's a void in the middle of the field that anybody can go into. This guy's going to get loose. he
but
he wasn't the number one pick in most people's fantasy drafts for no reason.
No, he was in the first round, but he wasn't a number one pick by any means.
Yeah, he was no one's number one. Let's not get carried away.
No, I know he was a lot of people's number ones.
Connor wasn't anyone's number one either, but look what he did.
In PPR leagues, I bet
right,
you.
Guys, come on. Now I'm going to stick up for the Browns defense a little.
Oh, here we go. Jimmy's back on the bandwagon. Go ahead,
Connor. I think Connor got a little lucky on some things. He got some extra yardage here and there that was a little bit.
Yeah, you know why? Because the Browns can't fucking tackle.
Well, it was kind of wet out there. It always helps the offense when you know where you're going and they don't know where you're going.
So when you're piling on the offense, we can't talk about the rain. But when you're trying to get the defenses back, you're going to bring up the rain.
Well, I mean, in the running game, I'll give the Browns a little bit of benefit of the doubt. Yeah, I thought Connor got some easy runs because of the weather. Yes. But I thought the Browns' pass defense was fantastic.
I mean, by your account,
the stats show that.
Yeah, but
the Saints are primarily a passing team. Say what you will, especially without Ingram, who's the between the tackles. Kamara is not going to run between the tackles.
It's not about them running. It's about the over the middle intermediate swing passes that we cover like shit.
You guys are so negative.
I'm
not trying to be positive here.
Well,
I think actually, I'm not.
I will never listen. I will never have any one of you come in as a guest speaker at one of my sales meetings. We're telling you that right now.
Is there anything positive that you would like to offer that the Browns might do against the Saints this Sunday?
Well, I think the Browns can put up some points against the Saints. I think we have some offensive weapons. Okay. We got Landry. We need to utilize Duke Johnson. Denzel Ward played great on defense last week. I think he can, take care of not take care of, but he can handle his own with Michael Thomas. I don't think we're going to get our balls kicked in against the Saints. I think it's going to be a competitive game. I'm a realist. I think they're going to lose. But, I think there are some, things that they bring to the table.
I like it.
As I was going to say myself, but until you guys cut me off,
shit.
I don't think Kamara is not going to blow us away like Brian is saying. I'm not worried about that.
It's not what I'm. It's not what
worried about him.
I'm not saying that Kamara is going to be the one that blows.
What I'm worried about is can we score enough points to outscore them? Because that's what you're going to have to do.
Ooh, thanks,
so what
Pat
you're saying is if you score more points than the other team, you win.
Good job, Pat Shermer.
That was a pretty good one there, Jimmy.
Against the Saints, I mean, this is definitely a game where you're going to have to score some points.
We're going to have to. Will Josh Gordon get more than 3 targets?
I hope so.
Oh.
But somebody showed me a screenshot on Twitter today of a play where Taylor had time. He was back there. Josh Gordon was literally wide open by 15 yards running down the left sideline, and Taylor didn't even look that way.
That's the MO. That's his MO, right?
So, and he ended up running for like 3 yards and ran out of bounds or whatever. So,
Myles Garrett looked dominant. Is that too easy? Denzel Ward looked good. Myles Garrett looked dominant, and Jannard Avery looked pretty good in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Jannard Avery is a stud. I like him.
So, definitely.
Big fan.
And Landry does make some good ass catches.
He does.
Like, he makes ones where you're like, there's no way is any Browns receiver going to catch that, and then he catches it.
Jarvis Landry. I thought you said Jannard Avery. Okay.
I did say Jannard Avery, and then I transitioned.
All right,
guys. Yeah. So let's get into our predictions. You heard it here first. We have to go over last week's predictions. I'll be interested to see how you guys score it. Since no one technically got it right because it was a freaking tie. So
no one got it right, but Brian definitely got it wrong.
So
How is that possible?
Jim 24-20. Big Al 21. The actual point total for the Browns is right. Steelers 17.
Thank you.
Tyrod 3 TDs. That did not happen.
Oh, that did
He
not.
had a rushing one and he passed for one. Orange is
I missed by one.
Browns 16, Steelers 24. He was way off.
How was I way off?
Well, you have the largest gap of points
Oh,
of all
God.
four of us, and you predicted the Steelers to win, and they did not
Yeah.
win. They in fact
So nobody gets anything for
and
this.
then I only had a 1 point difference, but it was 7 and 8 points over.
But you also had the Browns winning.
I'd give me a point. I think I won this.
Here's what
No.
I did, guys.
You better not give it to Big L.
No 1-1.
I'm the closest.
The closest to what?
Al, this is a fan cast, and you're
This is
yelling.
not prices. This isn't the Price is Right.
He's yelling like he's getting screwed out of a couch.
Listen.
He's the closer. He's gonna
I'm a
close
very
this.
competitive man. I was the closest.
Like I'm gonna go back to that. I'm the closest.
I'm trying to figure out what he thinks he was the closest to.
It's like I said.
It was 21.
Okay, so you were the closest to the score, but you picked the Browns to win, which they did not do.
Well,
I
they
picked the Steelers to win, which they did not do. So am I the
They didn't
closest?
lose. The Browns didn't lose.
So if you, and that's true, in the past we have given points to closest score as long as you pick the right team that won.
Yeah, so
It's
everybody is.
It's a rare
this is-
situation with a tie. They never happen, guys, and we didn't pick it.
It's a wash.
Sounds like I'm getting fucked.
Everybody. Everybody's over.
All right, here we go. Let's see here.
Right now, we're all 0-0-1.
And Glenn, already has his in, so I'll do it. So you guys can see it live, and then we'll get your reactions.
Who is Glenn? I'd like to meet Glenn.
Faster typing. Faster typing. Faster
That is
typing.
Glenn Honan. You'll meet him. He's going to try to come in next week.
Come on, bud.
The more the merrier.
All right. Anyone want to predict this number? You don't get anything.
Oh, I'm gonna say
7.
I'm gonna say 10. Wow.
Ooh, Glenn.
So
Man.
Glenn's a day drinker.
Glenn's a homer.
Good day.
Glenn's a homer. Eh? You gotta like it. You gotta like it.
Wow.
Oh.
Jimmy, are you up? You're on the clock.
All right. Well, in lieu of Big Al's statement that he would not like us to speak to his illustrious sales staff, I am going to say I'm still positive.
Thank you.
Browns 31, Saints 27.
James.
Okay.
No Browns.
What team are you people watching?
All right.
Big Al.
As you guys know, Big Al, the Velvet Hammer, is a very positive person, but I'm also a realist. Saints 38, Browns 21.
Oh, what? Look at that. Comes in.
Oh, there you go. Well,
big,
that's
big point differential.
interesting.
Showed my true colors.
What is?
Ouch! That's a beatdown.
What's this other guy's name?
Well, James, the Browns aren't good.
Yeah, I know. Well, you just told us how we were negative people, so
Right.
Well, I mean, the whole fan cast has been nothing but negativity.
It's the host's
well,
fault.
Al, we haven't won a game in 2 years.
Listen,
Well,
We didn't
Two
win.
years.
listen. After this fan cast, I'm going to go sit in a room, turn off all the lights, light a candle, and listen to 9 Inch Nails. It's a little positivity.
All right, fine.
You heard that here first. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna go.
Wait, hold on. Before you go, we have a reply to
Okay.
Big Al. Says, what
Yeah.
team are you watching? Did you watch the fucking Saints?
Yes.
Yeah, what's that have to do with anything?
I think it has to do with the prediction.
The Saints sucked. They did suck last week.
They lost to Tampa Bay's backup.
I mean, how do you give up 48 points to the fucking Bucks? Excuse my French.
They haven't. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Here we go. Well, this is your
my prediction.
Here we go. Here we go. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna say Saints 33, Browns 16.
What?
Wow.
There we go again.
Yeah, I said it on,
against the
Brian,
Steelers.
come on,
I said it in the first Fancast. I'm not sold on this bullshit conglomeration of players yet. Until they can start to work together as a team and look like a fucking team, I'm going to continue to pick them to lose and not be able to score or stop anybody.
Oh, that's some reverse psychology.
What do you want me to say, John?
Big Bry's definitely banned from my sales meetings.
I was going to come by. I was going to come over to Shelby and buy a truck.
Hold on. I would like to amend my score.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it the same. Denzel Ward will score a touchdown for the Browns.
And a little additional. Let it ride here.
Yep. So our offense will be outscored, but our defense will score a touchdown.
Wow.
Ward pick 6. Got it.
There you go.
I'm going. I can't see if I'm even spelling it right. Nope.
No, you're not spelling it right.
Come on, Brownie.
Let me move you guys over here.
How's that coffee, James?
Browns 28, Saints 27.
Ooh.
We stop them. They get a couple field goals. They get some big plays, but we end up being able to turn on enough of our offense in the dome to leave with the win.
I love it.
You heard it here first.
Fucking insane.
What are you laughing at?
I just don't. I don't know what you saw this past Sunday that thinks they're going to walk in. They're going to go on the road and stop Drew Brees, who puts up 400 yards passing almost every single week. And we're just going to shut that down all of a sudden, and we're going to win this game.
I gave him 2
touchdowns. I hope I'm wrong. Every week I hope I'm wrong.
I gave him 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals. You only gave him 6 more points than I did.
But you still gave him a win, which is mind-boggling to me.
We had 6 takeaways against the Steelers.
Oh God! I watched it, and we didn't do shit with the ball. I was there. I saw it.
It was raining.
It rained for both fucking teams. You made it sound like it only rained when the Browns had the ball.
We tied. Holy the division champ from last year.
Yeah, we didn't lose. We did not lose.
That's a decent point. I lamented the tie earlier in the podcast or the fan cast. I do have to say, you did tie the Steelers, who they are a very good team.
Bam.
They're a good
turnovers. Glenn made a comment that he thinks that we didn't lose. Next Wednesday might need to change his name to The Brown is Browner.
That's pretty creepy.
Glenn just made his last comment on the show.
Just doesn't.
He also said Pittsburgh top 5 defense, Saints bottom 5. I'm feeling much better about my pick here.
Oh yeah.
Feeling much better about my pick. So we're going to do this again next Wednesday. The It's Better With You Fancast ? Join us on Facebook. Share with your friends. Call in live at this number, but not anymore because we're getting out of here pretty soon.
Yeah, and to all you jerks I gave the number to that didn't call in, very disappointing.
That's what we're going to do.
I expect to call out.
Jimmy, that's not a good sales pitch. Right?
Oh, jeez.
That's how you sell these guys, Brian. That's how you sell these guys.
Insults and comments. That's perfect.
Yes.
So we do this every week, you guys. You can come in live. You can listen live and not talk. You can call in and talk and not have your video, or you can go full bore like all of us and have our video and audio and
next week we'll have a game. It'll be a
stats.
game prep. It'll be a night before. Or Thursday night or next
Ooh.
week, don't we?
It'll be some fast action.
Wow.
Exciting.
Glenn says, I feel like I'm wrong now because Jim is always wrong.
Really?
Now, all right, he's allowed to make comments
Yes,
again.
he's back. He's back. Glenn, you're welcome back anytime.
Commenting for Glenn is now turned back on.
The intro and outro music is Craig, Cleveland's punk rock Celtic band, and their song Cleveland, just so you guys know. We want to thank them for that, and we will have more intro music and outro music coming soon. All right, everyone.
Let's open those Bud Light fridges.
You guys take us out, and I'll figure out when we're gonna stop streaming.
Oh, good Lord. Al's.
It's the Vulcan.
That's it.